I would like to introduce the mayor of Libertyville, who thinks it's Monday, Terry Wepler.
I want to tell you a little bit about what's going on in Libertyville right now. This morning we had our groundbreaking for our new parking structure, so that's the first thing. We're operating on a May 1st fiscal budget, recently approved $67.5 million budget, which represents our ongoing commitment to provide quality services and programs with our mission statement while maintaining a fiscally responsible budget. The overall operating budget is again balanced and includes $18 million in a capital improvement plan. The budget includes the aggressive capital improvement plan, including $4.4 million in road improvements for the bond program that was passed by our residents a number of years ago, and $3.25 million in water and sewer infrastructure improvements, and $7 million to build our new parking structure. We're a full-service community. We provide a wide range of services, including finance, police, fire, public works, community development, and parks and recreation. We're one of the few communities in Lake County that has a separate, we operate our parks through the village as opposed to a separate park district. We have some new residential developments going in. The first is Parkside, and it's 56 units. It's up on the old Bolander property. And then Roanoke Group is proposing 158 single-family subdivision along Butterfield Road on the Archdiocese property. New office and development. Motorola, as you're aware, went out a couple years ago, left the village. Innovation Park is now the location of the old Motorola facility, and they've signed their first lease with Valent Biosciences, and we hope to have them in there sometime right after the first of the year. We also completed Bridgepoint 94 development, which is along the Des Plaines River on 176, and they are now filling up with tenants at the same time. We have some new apartment developments coming in. Northline Developments is on North Milwaukee Avenue, north of the train station, and then the Manchester by Cedar Street. If you're not familiar with this is the Casa Bonita building. For a while it sat empty on the upper floors, and it is now being turned into apartments. Now our biggest structure going in right now is our new parking garage. As I said, we just broke ground this morning on that. We hope it will be done sometime in January or February. I asked the developer this morning if they could possibly get it done in 3 months, and he said no. It will have 317 parking spaces. It is behind our Civic Center. During construction, we're going to have a somewhat difficult time to park in the downtown, but we do have maps. If you are looking to go downtown, please contact our community development department. We can show you what we do have. We've leased some spaces to make parking available while the development is going on. If you've ever come in on the train in Libertyville, it's not pretty. We'll admit that Metro put in probably the cheapest train station that they could put in. We are going to be redoing that in the next year, and we have a design for it. We've just hired the architect, and this is the rendering of what our new train station will look like. We've also been advised by Metro, if you ever go out to the Prairie Crossing station and see the double-wide trailer, Metro has been promising to put in a new station. They told us it was going to be done this year. Now they're telling us it's going to be done next year, so hopefully that will get done. We're working right now with Metro and the RTA on a downtown transit-oriented development plan to look at our entire area around the train station and determine what's the best development for that area. The village has a concern over transit-oriented development just from the standpoint of understanding that there aren't any grocery stores near the train station, and people have to have cars if you're going to do that. We have signed a commercial garbage franchise, and it has been implemented. We now have all our businesses online. It's bringing cost savings to those businesses and new recycling options for the village. We have a number of new businesses in town. These are just some of them. We've been doing ribbon cuttings on a regular basis. We just did a ribbon cutting in the last 2 weeks, so a number of new businesses coming to town. Over 70 new businesses, expansions or relocations were in 2016. This is just the list of the 2016 people, and again, over 70 in the village. So we hope if if you're looking to relocate, you'll consider coming to Libertyville. We published a new dining guide. We do have some new restaurants. We just cut the ribbon for Milwaukee Taco by the same owner as Milwaukee Trace Restaurant, and a lot of good eating options in downtown Libertyville. We are proposing at this point in time a places for eating tax. One of the things every town is running into is a budget crunch. The issue deals with maintaining our downtown. As you're aware, we had a TIF district, or have a TIF district. Those funds are being used to pay for the new parking garage. We do have to keep up the parking garages once they're done. We're also looking to, again, improve our improvements, the wrought iron fencing that goes around there, and then also use those funds for other developments that we're being required to do by the state. The state of Illinois, that's a big question. I think every mayor who stands up here will tell you we're 11 months into the budget year and there's no state budget. There have been proposals by our legislators, to take away every possible funding that we get from the state. You know, they want to take away the sales tax we get. They want to freeze property taxes. And just so you know, I am not against property tax freezes as long as there are some other things that go with that. Again, part of Rauner's budget issues. The problem is, in about 1978, there was a law in the state of Illinois that the state could not pass a proposal that did not provide funding for it to the municipalities or whatever government unit they were going to do, unfunded mandates. Since 1978, there are 278 unfunded mandates that the state has passed on to your municipalities, your park districts, and your school districts. The governments have to come up with some ways to fund those. They continue passing unfunded mandates, yet they are talking about property tax freeze. You can't have it both ways. If you want us to provide services, the state of Illinois has got to provide us with ways to pay for those services. We can continue to promote our businesses through the Shop Local and Shop 60048 programs. We've increased our use of Facebook, Twitter, e-news, and the village website newsletter. And this is just our new face page for the village website. This summer we have a number of events going on. Some of them will be modified a little bit because of the parking structure. If you've been to our events before, rides for Libertyville Days go up in the Civic Center lot. That lot will now be under construction, so we're going to be putting rides on Cook Avenue. But Libertyville Days will continue. Our Dog Days of Summer will continue this summer. We have the band concerts, 4th of July, which our 4th of July celebration, our car dealers help sponsor, helps us have a good show, and they help fund it. All of our Main Street events will be going on this summer. Out to Lunch, First Friday, Car Fun, and the Dessert Walk. And then about the first weekend of August, David Adler will have their Festival of the Arts art show in downtown Libertyville. Our sports complex and recreation programs will all be going strong this summer. We have an active program. If you haven't been to the sports complex, come on out and take a look. I think it's a nice facility that you'll enjoy. And that's it for my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions, but I think we're going to get to that after everyone makes their presentation. One other thing I would like to bring up, because really it affects everyone in this chamber. And if you're not aware of it, the city of North Chicago and North Chicago School District has a very large problem. They are on the verge of bankruptcy. And I know you've heard this before. This has been ongoing. But the problem is, and the school districts have asked the mayors to get involved. 16% of their students come from the Navy base. It costs about $10,000 to educate each kid. If they have 20% or more students, they get $6,000 per student. So they're operating automatically on a $4,000 deficit. If they have less than 20%, they get $600 per student. So obviously North Chicago's in problems. Now how does that impact you? Well, the issue is, if North Chicago goes bankrupt, then all the other surrounding school districts will incorporate them. Part of District 128 is in Mundelein. It's in Libertyville. It's in Vernon Hills. It's in Green Oaks. There is no precedent for a school district going bankrupt, number one. And number two, the state hasn't established any rules. So no one knows what will happen if North Chicago goes bankrupt, other than it will impact everyone in District 128 and in the GLMV area. So I just wanted to make everyone aware of that. We are trying to get the word out to help the North Chicago School District. And again, if you have any other questions, I'll answer them when everybody's out.
Thank you very much, Terry, and that is very, very important news that he gave us about the school districts. I know all of us are concerned about, Mayor Wysocki even made a point about Green Oaks, that's one of the big factors is the school district. So this is a problem we all need to be aware of.